Ever wish your life was a musical? You could be an extra in one and not even know it. Plus, the results you've all been waiting for. We tell you who took home $300 and the winning title at this year's Mock Rock. And national controversy over a new law. We tell you why Arizona's got everyone talking. All this and more on EagleVision News.
Probably can't make it all the way to Haiti to help in relief efforts. But you can still make a difference by
sports here at
donating.
Biola. Last week, both the volleyball and soccer teams were playing in the
One of the most anticipated games of the basketball season, and there's hundreds.
We've gone a house nearly everyone here plays a sport. I think
Reporting from La Mirada, this has been Katie Owen.
This has been Miles Ray.
Jennifer Martin, Shannon Ikuda, EagleVision News, Biola.
Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Martin and you're watching EagleVision News. Mock Rock results are in. We'll have more on that later, but first, national news. The oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico is now leaking over 5,000 barrels a day. It's growing even larger than the U.S. Coast Guard feared and is more than 20 miles away from the Mississippi River. The Coast Guard discovered that a third leak at the site where an oil rig exploded and sank in the Gulf of Mexico last week.
Our biggest fear is that the winds push it ashore and that we end up with oil along the shoreline that would really hurt the environment as far as the seafood industry and the marshes.
Authorities are trying to burn off the oil in sections to keep it from reaching wildlife reserves on the Louisiana shore. They say it all depends on how the weather moves. Arizona Governor Jan Brewer signed a law last week making it a state crime to be in the country illegally. The measure gives police the power to stop anyone who raises a reasonable suspicion. Opponents of the law are cracking down on illegal immigrants and say that it could lead to racial profiling. Phoenix Mayor Phil Gordon calls it unconstitutional and is moving forward with a privately funded lawsuit. Last week, airplanes around the world stayed put on the ground. Miles Ray explains why.
On April 14th, a volcano exploded in Iceland. For the next 6 days, the ash from the volcano caused virtually all European flights to be canceled. The sheer amounts of stranded travelers temporarily crippled the world's economy.
Of course, the name of the volcano is
Eyjafjallajökull.
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 Over 5 million people would be stranded in airports worldwide, an air traffic disruption even larger than the aftermath of 9/11.
This is what it looks like when people travel internationally with no volcano interruption. As you can see, once the volcano did explode, it wreaked havoc on international travel.
Winds blew bits of the volcanic ash all the way across Europe within 2 days. The flights were canceled because any amount of the ash is potentially harmful to airplane engines. Miles Ray, EagleVision.
Planes are no longer sitting still because of the ash, but from now on, they can't hold passengers on the ground for very long anyway. A new rule now restricts all airplanes from holding passengers on the tarmac for more than 3 hours, unless it's a safety or security concern. Catholic clergy around the world face allegations of child abuse. But what implications does this have for the church? Reporter Sarah Kim tells us more.
Pope Benedict XVI offered apology for child sex abuse by predatory priests. He met with a group of men in Malta who were abused by the clergy. Pope was deeply sorry and said the church will do everything in its power to prevent child abuse. What are some psychological issues that relate to child abuse? Let's find out from a professor.
In the case of victims of sexual abuse or abuse, when it's a trusted other, it's particularly traumatic because there's it's like someone tells you, standing on a table, jump into my arms. You trust them, so you jump, and then they back away and drop you on the ground. It's it's worse because I trusted you. And so it really makes it hard for them to trust again.
The churches, in relationship to this child abuse, the churches need to repent. And the individuals that committed that sin and that offense needs to forthrightly acknowledge that and ask the forgiveness of the victims as well as the forgiveness of God.
We struggle because of sins that we commit, and sometimes we struggle because of sins that are committed against us. And God has a plan of forgiveness and healing, whatever the origin of our struggle might be. And someone who's been abused, especially abused by religious figures, that would really leave a lot of pain. But that's the kind of pain that God's grace can heal and God's truth can set them free from. And so I think I would try to acknowledge that.
God's love will bring full restoration of soul and mind to those who have been abused physically or emotionally. This is Sarah Kim, EagleVision News.
9 groups of students have been practicing for months for Biola's annual dance competition, Mock Rock. EagleVision's Jaden Allen is there at the Chase Gymnasium with the results. Jaden?
That's right, Jen. We just found out the winners of Mock Rock 2010. It just finished. It was really exciting. Everyone worked really hard. But first, let's take a look at how well they did.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night.
Thanks, Jaden. Looks like you guys are having a lot of fun. Coming up, applying for student loans won't be the same this year. We've got the details on how to make sure your tuition is covered. Plus, students kick off their shoes and pack on 60 pounds of water. We tell you why. And if you've never been to San Francisco, we'll take you there. All this and more after the break.